Hey, sports card fans, it's John Wade Boggs fan. Hope you're all doing well. And Happy New Year to all of you out there. I know last year was filled with controversy, some negativity, some drama, a whole bunch of stuff going on in the hobby. Well, I hope 2026 for all of you out there is an enjoyable year, a happy year for you in the hobby. Hopefully, for most of you, you can block out a lot of that negativity and just enjoy collecting cards. As for me, I'm getting a really good start on 2026. I picked up my latest card off of my 100 cards for $10,000 list. It's card number 65. So I'm going to turn the camera around, show off that card, show off some of the other cards that I have in my collection from that set, and then go over the numbers of my latest pickup and where I stand after 65 cards now on my 100 card project. So let's go check out some cards. All right, card number 65 is, yes, another Harmon Killebrew card. It's his 67 Topps card. Yet one step closer to my playing days run of his. Love the 67 set, just nice and basic. Just the team name at the bottom, small letters of the name and position of the player, so you can focus on the actual image of the player. Looks like another Yankee Stadium image. Very popular, I guess, with Harmon Killebrew. He seems to be photographed in an away uniform in Yankee Stadium over the years. Love the centering on this, color registration. Everything's really nice about this card. The back as well. So I always hide the number grade here because I want you to take a look at the card and what drew me to this particular copy. And for those of you who are wondering what the actual number grade is, no, it's not one of my famous PSA 4 pickups. It's not even a PSA 5. I found this PSA 6 copy. Was looking at different ones. Again, the sixes were in a price range that I felt was reasonable for this card. Was looking at 4s and 5s, came across this 6, just loved the example of it, the eye appeal. And so I said, okay, I'll spend a little bit more than maybe trying to find a lower grade. And so happy with this pickup, very happy. So we'll get into the numbers here in a little bit. I'll set this off to the side and thought I'd show off some of the other 67 Topps cards I have in my collection. Here's the Frank Robinson. My Mickey Mantle. The Willie Mays. One of my favorite Ernie Banks cards. Just love that image of him there smiling. Then we have the Hank Aaron. In general, I think I don't have a lot of problems finding centered cards. Sometimes the color registration is off, but I've been managing to get some of these. There are a few 4s, but there's some 5s and 6s in my collection here. They're still reasonably priced at that number grade. So now here's one You may say, John, what's with the 3 for the Lou Brock here, a little off center? This was a contest win from Mike Baseball Collector. So it's a part of my collection. Happy to have a Lou Brock shown here with the Cardinals. Then my Karl Yastrzemski from his Triple Crown season. Few more here. This was my first graded Roberto Clemente. Picked this up at, I forget which national now. It was maybe 4 years ago, I think. So I think it was either Chicago or Atlantic City. I can't quite remember. Then love this Pete Rose. Again, you can still find nicely centered copies even in 4s in the 67 set. And finally, Jim Palmer's second year card. All right, back to the Harmon Killebrew pickup. Now, on my list, I had this in a, let's see if we can get it centered here. Come on. I had it, there we go. I had this on my list in order to get a nice round $10,000 figure for these 100 cards. I had it on my list in a PSA 7, thinking that I would probably have to spend $100, not including shipping and tax, to get a PSA 7 copy. Again, did not need a PSA 7 copy. Didn't necessarily need a PSA 6 copy, but again, just fell in love with this copy here. So rather than try to find a PSA 7 just to say I have a certain number on the slab and spend probably at least $100, I spent all in with shipping and tax for this PSA 6, $80. I rounded up a little bit. It was just a little under $80, a few dollars less than $80, but I just round up. So about $80 all in. So I saved $20 from not going out and finding a slab with a little 7 on it, and picked up a really nice copy here. So how did I do with this PSA 6? So in terms of the comps, which again, more and more I'm just treating as a general guide. I'm not sticking to my guns like I have in years past of, well, I'm not going to pay over this or that. If I find a really nice copy, within reason, I'll pay fairly strong for it and be happy with it. But on the low end of PSA 6s, they're going for about $45. Current average VCP price for a 6 is $69. And the recent high sale for a PSA 6, again, this is before shipping and tax, $90. So I'm all in with shipping and tax for $80. So I picked up this really nice eye appeal copy and stayed within the general comps for a really nice eye appeal copy. So after 65 cards now, based on the number grade and what I thought I would have to spend for that particular number grade for these 65 cards, I thought I'd have to spend $6,090. Man, these numbers are starting to get really high here as I make more and more progress on this project. But to date, for these 65 cards, I've only spent $3,480. So I'm $2,610 to the good, money that I didn't have to come up with by trying to get a certain number grade on the slab. Now, if you notice here, if you want to be picky, when I first saw it, I was like, it looks like they used a holder here for maybe, some of the the early to mid 50s cards that are a little bit taller, not that tight slab, but the card doesn't move around. I shook it around and it's not loose in there, so I don't really mind that they used a little bit of the oversized holder for this one. Just looks a little odd, but in general, I like how my cards show off in PSA slabs. That's why I collect PSA. It's the only reason. But yeah, so there we have it. Card number 65 on my list. Would love to know what you think about my latest pickup, the 67 Topps Harmon Killebrew, and the other 67 Topps cards I have in my collection. And with that, that's all I have for you. So until next time, thanks for watching.